Good day, we are Group 38. For this activity, we were instructed to implement object-oriented concepts based on our previous activity. One of the objects was already provided, which is the counselor, and each of us from the pair contributed one additional object from our list, namely advisor and the counseling schedule, which later on we're going to discuss further. But first, let's begin by discussing the counselor class. This class represents the counselor associated or assigned to each student. Now we created an instance of the counselor class passing the parameters name, email, and schedule. Each of these attributes is managed through corresponding methods. The first one is the get name, which returns the name of the counselor. We also have the get email, which returns the counselor's email address. Then we have the get schedule, which returns the initial consultation schedule of the counselor. And then we have the update schedule, which allows us to update the counselor's availability. And lastly, we have the set email, which validates the format of the email address before updating it. Now, for testing purposes, we instantiated a counselor named Dr. Juana Sanchez with the email address juana.sanchez@company.com and her current or initial availability, which is set to Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays from 11:30 a.m. to 1 o'clock p.m. Now, in the section of the code, we print the counselor's name, her validated email, the initial schedule, and the updated schedule. But at this point, we've labeled the updated schedule as not applicable in the meantime for demonstration purposes. So to show how the set email method works, we're going to remove the at and the dot in the written email so that we can satisfy the condition that if it doesn't have the at and the dot, it will raise a value error. So let's try running it. So as you can see, we have the value error in our terminal because we removed the at and the dot, which basically validated the correct email format. Now, if we're going to put it back, and this time we put in the updated schedule, which I've set to Tuesdays and Thursdays from 1:30 to 3 o'clock p.m. Let's try to rerun. And currently, we have the counselor's name, her correct email with the valid format, the counselor's initial schedule, which is reflected in here, and her new schedule, which is from Tuesdays and Thursdays from 1:30 to 3 o'clock p.m. Let's now take a look at the second class in our implementation, which is the advisor class. This represents an advisor that is assigned to each student, and we created an instance with the advisor's name, department, email address, and contact number. These attributes are stored and accessed through a set of methods, which are first, the get name, which returns the name of the advisor, the get department, which returns the department where the advisor belongs, the get email address, which retrieves the advisor's email, and we also have the get contact number, which retrieves the advisor's contact number, and lastly, we have the set contact number, which includes validation as it checks that the number is 11-digit long and consists of numerical characters. If the input does not meet the criteria, it's going to raise a value error message when implemented. Now, in our test scenario, we created an advisor named Dr. Joanna Cruz under the Social Sciences Department, and her email address is set to joanna.cruz@company.com and her 11-digit numerical contact number. Now, we use the methods to print each attribute, which are the advisor's name, the advisor's department, email, and contact number. Now, to show how these functionality works, let's try to remove one number and replace it with an alphabet to see how it's going to satisfy the condition. Now, as you can see, we have here the value error that I talked about earlier, saying that it's an invalid mobile number format. Now, if we're going to replace the A with a numerical number, now we have successfully implemented the codes.
And so, good evening, guys. And I am Nathaniel Cajuday, and I am with my partner, my groupmate, John Ezekiel Manalo. And for this object, I will discuss about the counseling schedule, which aims to create a schedule, reschedule, or cancel the appointment of a counseling. So, for this first first few lines, I am or the app will going to get the student information of the one who wants to schedule, reschedule, or cancel their appointment of counseling. Then for this one, if the appointment is already canceled or completed, then it will already end. Now, it should be scheduled to go further. And for this line, we will it's about changing time and date of the appointment. So this means that this is for the rescheduling page. And for this page, this is for the cancel page. Okay. So if someone wants to cancel their counseling appointment, so this will go. And for these lines, these are the details to be saved, no, by the code. And then for this print, this will be the one that will be displayed when this code will be run. And I put this line so that it will support a string for the print. Now, and I put a sample scenario. So uh, similar to activity 2, it's uh, that there is a time for an appointment. So let's run it, and it will print like this. Okay, so it will show that the counseling appointment details, student ID, counselor ID, date, time, and schedule. So that's all. Thank you.